Okay, here we are. Yeah, a little late, but we're here. We made it. Okay.
And you even told it to record this time?
I did.
Successful.
Okay, we're live. We're on YouTube, right? We're on YouTube. We're in the right thing. Yes. Okay. I think we're... Yeah. We're good. Okay. Welcome to GT Radio. I just did a 2-hour podcast. Let me try this again. Let me start again. Welcome to GT Radio on the Geek Therapy Network. Here at Geek Therapy, we believe that the best way to understand each other and ourselves is through the media we care about. My name is José Cardona, and I'm joined by Lara Taylor.
Hey.
And Lynn Keller.
Hey.
Welcome, everyone. It is Link's turn this week.
It's my turn.
What are we talking about, Link?
I want to talk about two things, and I'm going to need your help making them connect.
I'm good. Challenge accepted. Let's do it.
First, I guess maybe it's like three things. Shit. I want to hear about how your presentation went last week or the weekend. And I want to talk more about tags because it is still popping off, and I can't help but think about it all the time. So why not talk about it? And then also, I saw Godzilla versus Kong the other day, so I want to talk about Godzilla.
So just Godzilla, kaiju in general, other big monsters like.
Can we talk about how we call our cat Godzuki now? Because
I mean, we want to know now why.
Absolutely.
Because he gets up on his hind legs and like puts his paws in front of him, and he looks like a kaiju when he eats his treats and food. So we call him Godzuki.
That's good.
That's so cute.
That works. What was it about Godzilla versus Kong that oh, I gotta talk about that?
It was fun. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. I had seen
It's the fourth in the series.
It is the fourth in this set, though there are over, I want to say 32, 35 Godzilla movies.
No.
And I don't know, 10 or 12 King Kong movies. But Godzilla's great. I love Godzilla. I like big monster kaiju movies in general, but Godzilla, of course, the king of them all.
King of monsters, yeah.
King of monsters.
Yeah. All the monsters.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It's also, I think was it the first, for me, maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lara, because you just correct me.
Okay.
Often, so do that.
Now I correct you often, but I have seen one Godzilla movie in my life.
No.
One.
It's not about that. It's about the fact that we saw that, we got to see that movie at home. We didn't have to see it in theaters. I mean, you may have, it's in theaters too, but I was like, it felt like a bigger deal than even all the other movies, just because it's the type of movie I would have I can imagine. It's a kaiju movie, right? It's I want to see.
As far as movies like I would want to see in a theater, this is definitely in that grouping. But it was fun watching it at home.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved that happened, right? Like, there's other movies, like I just saw Mortal Kombat, right? Like, it should feel the same way, right? It's like, I would have had to see that in theaters instead. I saw it at home, but there's something about the spectacle of it felt like a blockbuster, huge movie, huge kaiju fighting. Yeah, no, I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I loved it so much. I really enjoyed it. I hadn't seen Kong, so I watched Kong first, and then I had seen the two Godzilla movies, and I loved it.
Yeah.
The power of friendship is just, doesn't matter. Whenever that pops up, it's always good.
Everybody loves the power of friendship.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing My Little Ponies as kaiju. Friendship is magic.
You just make them big, and it works.
Look, I mean, technically, King Kong and Godzilla didn't exist in the same world until these movies started, decided to do that.
So you never know. They could make a movie, and you could have My Little Ponies.
They've been crossed over since like the 50s.
Is that true?
Yes.
I guess that is true. I guess they used to do Godzilla and Kong. Really? Like, I know Godzilla used to cross over into other stuff. I mean, I believe you. I
Like
guess.
Mothra and all that. Yeah.
Well, all those monsters like are part of that world, huh? I didn't know, but it makes sense. What was the
King
first one
Kong
they made?
versus Godzilla was distributed by Toho, who made majority of the Godzilla movies. It came out in 1962.
What?
Yep.
What? Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's cool. There's been talks about Pacific Rim crossing over into like this
I
world.
mean, yeah, Pacific Rim has always just been like,
Let me play. Come on, guys. Come on. Let me in. Let me in.
it's just been like, what if you take Godzilla and you add a little extra sparkly spice
Yeah. Yeah.
and Charlie Day, and you're great. It's good to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny that you brought up the training, right? Like I think now again, I can't remember. I mentioned this in the Slack. I don't remember if I made the Godzilla reference in the training. I did a 3-hour geek therapy workshop at a convention conference called the Expressive Therapy Summit. It was great. Like the group that was there was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. And so I can't remember if I made this reference there or if it was at Tags. Tags is recorded, so we'll definitely be able to see if this is the case. But I saw a TikTok where the guy was talking about the Matthew Broderick version of Godzilla, and he's saying like, this is not a good Godzilla movie, but it's an amazing kaiju design. It's like
a really fun Jurassic Park movie.
He goes, it's like going to a restaurant that makes the best, just amazing steak and ordering that amazing steak. Instead, you get the best chicken you've ever had in your life. That's what this is like. And I don't know, I just watched that and it made sense in the training. And it was like, I got to make a TikTok reference. I got to make a kaiju reference. It was good. I don't remember what I used the metaphor for or the analogy. It was good.
I was waiting for that. I
can't remember.
I don't know what it was, but it was so apt.
I think it worked. I don't remember what I was talking about.
So true story. Mm-hmm. The only Godzilla movie I've ever seen is the Matthew Broderick one.
Yeah.
1998. Godzilla.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the end, all those baby Godzillas. We never got that sequel.
We never got that sequel.
Nope.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
The baby Godzillas were velociraptors. I also watched that one recently.
Yeah. It was quite a redesign.
It's such a different movie than what the original Godzilla was aiming for.
Yeah.
Almost to an ironic level. Like it seems maybe intentionally ironic, but you can never be too sure.
It's the embarrassing trend of the American version, right? It's like you did not you've never seen a movie. You've never seen a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, that was one of the I remember when it came out. It's like that was a big complaint. Is people were like, "Oh, the proof that the American versions or the American remakes suck." And I was like, I don't get it because I was a kid and I had never seen a Godzilla movie before then. But having watched more Godzilla movies now, very different vibe for listeners and viewers who have not watched the 1956. I want to say 1956 was the first Godzilla movie. It was, like a decade out from World War II and specifically atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And Godzilla was very much in response to like living with the fear of atomic bombing, and the monster is very much a metaphor. And so it was very interesting in the 98 one sort of turns it around and is all like, oh no, Godzilla is like just a regular old lizard that got affected by atomic stuff, not totally different. It's not the atomic thing is the threat, is it's like radiation poisoning is bad, I guess. It's like
I haven't seen the Hideaki Anno one. Who he's the person who created Neon Genesis Evangelion. He made a live action Godzilla in 2001. Was it 2010? It was 2010 or 11 seems more accurate. Please fact checker. Let me know. And I hear it's amazing. I want to see it, but I hear that it's very much like it's a political movie, right? It's like
yes,
it's a political. Have you seen it? Have you seen the Hideaki Anno one? I don't know.
Shin
Godzilla it's called.
I don't think I've seen Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, and so my understanding is that it's not a monster movie, right? It's very much a movie about, it's a political trauma movie with this going on, and it's highly respected, and it won a lot of awards, and like it did a lot of. I want to see it now. I want to see it even more. Jang in the comments says that every iteration of Godzilla addresses an existential environmental threat. He is a Godzilla fan. I've never told.
Yeah.
I've never. I don't think I've shared this with Jang, but there's a store. There's like a kaiju store here in Chicago, and I haven't been because we're in the middle of a pandemic. But there's a kaiju store here. Like,
But when it's safe to go to the kaiju store.
I'm waiting for John to come visit. Yeah, so you can come to kaiju store.
Okay, I googled Shin Godzilla, and it's 2016 is when it came out. Okay. But I it made me laugh. Is on Google it has the people also ask section. And so she said, "Why is Shin Godzilla so scary?"
Because it was made by the same guy that made Neon Genesis Evangelion.
John says it's a monster movie about the uselessness of an overly bureaucratic government.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. I want to see it. I want to see it very badly.
Yeah.
I think until recently, like it was just hard to see, right? Like I don't know where it wasn't available on certain platforms, and I don't know, for a while it was like hard to find. And yeah. So I like kaiju. I like monster movies a lot. I like movies that make you think. Actually, there was news recently about the Mobile Suit Gundam movie coming to Netflix, written by Brian K. Vaughan and directed by the director of Kong Skull Island. I'm down. Yes, thank you. And I don't think this has been confirmed, but one of the things that they mentioned was that it was going to be it was going to be set in the Universal Century, which is the original kind of the first ever timeline of the Mobile Suit Gundam. There's lots of different Gundam anime and shows and all sorts of stuff, but there's an original. It's called the Universal Century, and that's where the original series happened, and lots of other shows have happened there. Whenever I thought of a movie about this, and this goes back to the Americans like mess things up version, right? If there's going to be an American version of Mobile Suit Gundam, I always think like, oh, they're going to recast Amuro Ray, and they're going to like all these Japanese characters, right? They're not going to be, they're going to be played by Americans, right? And they're going to change his name to Alex or something, right? It's going to be, they're just going to change it. But it seems like they're not going to do that. They're going to set it in the original timeline, which makes perfect sense. It's a show about inter-solar system war, where everybody, like, there's the whole world is one thing, and there's also colonies all throughout, and there are different governments, and they all have like these different mobile suits and all these things happening. So you can make a Mobile Suit Gundam movie set in the United States or somewhere in the West that happens within that story and that timeline, because every country has mechs at that point. Every country has all of these things, and so all of that makes me very hopeful that it exists within that world, and it can tell a great story, and it doesn't have to be inconsiderate of like the source material or of any other countries. It can be, yeah, I'm excited about that. But it's also like Mobile Suit Gundam. They're all political shows. It's all about the politics between different countries and how horrible governments are. And I saw a TikTok the other day where a guy was saying, I've never watched Gundam. Like, I wasn't super attracted to the idea of these mech stuff, right? It's like, oh no, but I saw it now. I've been watching Gundam, and I don't understand how basically a political drama like resulted in this multi-billion-dollar toy industry, right? Where like it's just mechs and plastic like stuff, but like the whole show is about, it's serious. Like, honestly, like some Gundam shows are kind of boring if you're there for like battles and stuff. That's not what's happening. It's all drama. I love it. It's one of my favorite. That's what all this is up here. A lot of that.
The same thing can be said for a lot of things that we like. They are like Star Wars is a political drama.
I don't necessarily. I don't agree with that.
I agree.
I think it has political elements to it, but it doesn't focus on it.
It's a fantasy space opera family drama, and
if you go transmedia and you go to the books, you go to the comics, you go to some of the TV shows, it does expand
I won't
that.
argue with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like what most people have seen, right? It's like in the Gundam version. It's like if you're one of those '90s kids who only saw Gundam Wing, it's like it is like slow, and like the ideas presented there is like what's happening there. Even with the giant mechs, it's like it's all politics. Like, it's just like wow. Like people, it's like people who complain about the prequels and that it's like, oh, the Trade Federation, and it's all about taxes. And it's like, yeah, that's how they set up that whole first movie, which I know goes against what I just said about Star Wars not being political. But like, they did that
and the original Star Wars was based on what, Vietnam?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
I mean, all art is political. Is the the foundational argument there? Whether it's with intention or not matters. I think Star Wars's main intentions are more fantasy and power fulfillment and that kind of stuff with political backgrounds. With especially the older Godzilla movies, they are about politics with a background of like, oh shit, that's a giant monster beating the shit out of another giant monster. Or buildings, all of the buildings.
That's kind of how like I describe Gundam, right? It's like it is just politics. It's like, well,
politics
guns
with
are
a side
boring.
of
What if instead of guns we have
robots.
giant robots? It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that. Instead of other countries, what if we have colonies in space? We still call them colonies, though. We don't want to be too far removed from what we're trying to say.
All the same language.
Yeah. I like those a lot. Yeah. So those are other big things: giant mechs and robots.
Giant mechs.
Yeah. See, made that connection. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Was there anything else about Godzilla or Kaiju and stuff that you wanted to bring up?
Yes, several things. One, in the new Godzilla versus Kong movie, my favorite part is when Godzilla runs it, like he gets thrown into a building and he squishes up against it like a Tom and Jerry goof. Like he just like crumples into it. Is so funny. Ooh, that was good. And what else?
I don't remember this.
It was great. Oh, also the like neon Hong Kong that they had in the movie was so good looking, like very visually beautiful. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say that I just found earlier today while doing a little pre-recording research on the Godzilla Wikipedia page, in the section about characteristics about the many versions of Godzilla, there's a section called Roar, and it starts with Godzilla has a distinctive dissyllabic roar, transcribed in several comics as "Screonk." And that's the greatest sentence I've ever read on Wikipedia. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Screonk.
But my ability
It's so funny to me.
Well, actually,
now I want to find an image of this
to the Japanese pronunciation. Actually, it's funny to you, but you know, I think you're not appreciating. I have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Godzilla, King Kong, big monsters. The monsters are metaphors. The next time you watch a monster movie, figure out what the metaphor is, and then tell me.
These images of Screonk are amazing.
Did you look it up?
Yes.
Screonk.
Screonk. Everywhere. It's so great.
Screonk. He's got big yells. He's a big guy. Okay, let's talk about tags some more. Speaking of cultural giants.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We were we were throwing topics around, so we just mixed them all up. Is what we decided at the last minute.
Yes, if I'm in charge, you're either going to get something like very weird, maybe morbid, or confusing. And tonight we went for confusing. It's the grab bag night.
I mean, again, I wish I remembered if I even said had the Godzilla reference in the training that I did on Saturday, and it just felt really good, that training, because people like I want, you know, like a big part of what we're doing is to celebrate these things that we like, right? Like Screonk. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it, right? But also, like, and this is something I'm not going to go into specifics, but okay, let me see how I tie this together. But what I want, we have like many of our friends have a Discord, now called the Cast.
Cast Gamers.
What does the CASTT stand for? Can you look it up while I continue to hype them up? And so
hype them up.
Yeah. And so that formed after the Bodana group, our partners for tags, created like they do a conference every October, and like out of either the last one or the one before that, like the community was like, oh, how do we let's continue, like let's stay in touch, let's keep going, right? So they created a Discord to kind of stay in touch, and that
had a placeholder name for 2 years.
Oh, yeah. That's how
now they are Community of Applied, Spiritual, and Therapeutic Tabletop Gamers.
It sounds like my people. So like that built out of that those events that the Bodana group was doing, and so that like it's a beautiful thing to see. So after tags over the last few weeks, it has been incredible. And again, go back to the workshop on the weekend. It was like those moments where people are like, "Oh, this is so validating, the things that you're talking about, right?" Or like, "Oh, this is so helpful," and like, yeah. And I'm like, "Hey, we come hang out with us. Like come
we talk about this, right? all the time.
This is what we do," and just the appreciation and the people like sharing things. And I mean, actually, so at the end of that presentation, this is so cool. Like it was like, "Oh no, thank you so much. Like this is gonna be super helpful in my work. But also, I want to show you something." And one person stayed to the end. Right? It was like, "I just want to show you a thing." And then they went and they found like this. It was a Mr. Potato Head Dalek, like officially branded Doctor Who product. Like I'd never seen this in my life, and I was so excited. But like after a 3-hour workshop, like I'm glad I conveyed my appreciation of Doctor Who within, you know, the therapeutic and applied applications of these ideas. And then we got to geek out about that afterwards. And I've been able to connect with a few people after the event, also like on LinkedIn, social media, people are coming through. I love it. That was just a 3-hour workshop, right? At a convention where there was tons of things happening. So a few weeks ago when we did tags, it was highly concentrated, right? It was 3 days, 4 to 5 events happening at all times in a row. And some of the things that kept coming up, especially on the first day, was like, oh, like I didn't know other people were into this. I didn't know other people like Skrionk, you know? Like I thought I was the only one, right? And then you start seeing, right, that there's like this community building, right? And then people, so there have been so many stories over the last couple weeks that were just, I don't know, they felt really good. So like one of them, we got a message that was, and this was sent to me and Sophia, and she's giving a presentation. She lives in England. She's going to give a presentation, and she reaches out and she's like, thank you. Like I felt so supported at that event. And do you mind if I plug you guys? Right. So she's like, can I put Geek Therapy's logo and the tags logo there? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. You have my blessing. Absolutely. Right. She's like, I want to tell people about this and thank you so much. I felt so supported. I was like, right. We didn't ask her to do that. Right. But I'm so happy to hear that's the way she felt. And she was going to share that and tell other people about it. Yesterday, Geek Therapy was streaming on Twitch, and we always announce it on the Discord. And if you have everything set up in a certain way, we have it so that it's announced. Like you have to have your Twitch profile and your Discord profile, and we have a bot set up so that when you go live, it lets everybody know. It makes it visible, right? To like, hey, yeah, like you're streaming, do it. This person didn't have their profile linked up or anything like that, but they still posted there. Like they were like, hey, I'm going live, I'm trying this out. So I jump in to just see, right? I'm like, oh cool, somebody in the community is doing a stream, they're starting to stream. And I was like, I want to go like be supportive too. And so I go in, and her name is Rachel, and she's doing this whole the idea behind her Twitch stream is for foster care youth. And she's got like stats on foster care, and she's sharing with us, like information about the foster care system and her opinions about it and the work that she's doing, and talking about building a community, around that. I was like, oh, that's so great. There were other members of the community there too already, and John was there, and he's like, oh, like Josue is here, and like she was like, oh, is that Josue? I just want to say like thank you so much for tags. Like go watch the video to see the exact stuff that she said. I'm sure it's on her channel. It's on the Discord. You can find it. But like she made it sound like tags was again validating and very supportive. And just like 3 weeks later, I'm not saying that's the only reason, right? But like my understanding was like she felt like, oh, like I felt like I could do this and just come on Twitch and talk about this and do this kind of thing because I was surrounded by people who do this type of thing, and like we've received emails and so many comments and stuff about people just feeling good about that, right? About it's so good to hear, that even a couple weeks later, and like I'm still editing the videos to put everything up so they're all not up yet, and still like people are watching the videos now. And in the Facebook group, people are like, oh, I just watched this video, like what'd y'all think, right? And there's like discussion around them. It is a lot of just like a lot of love, like just in the community, like building that up. And I'm so glad that we have all these platforms available, right, to support that and to do that. It can happen without us, right? Like the example of the Save one, right? Like that group just formed organically, right, from there. That doesn't always happen, right? Like it's hard to do. It can happen either way, and it can still like. If you don't like our Discord, too many emojis, I get it, and that's cool, right? Like Rachel started a whole channel, right, to do this one idea, and like I don't know, I don't know of any other streamers who are talking about the foster care system and being supportive, and that's kind of awesome.
Well, and Josue, there was some last night we attended a peer support group that started on the Cast Gamers Discord, and some of the people there I met at tags and wouldn't have been on the situation like there unless they had heard about it from tags. So it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And like a peer support group, meaning like literally like a clinical peer support, peer supervision type of group to discuss like, hey, like I need
I need support. I have a tough case. I have a tough job. Please.
Yeah.
What are your opinions, other professionals?
Yeah.
And it was really cool.
Yeah. And
one of them was a peer support specialist.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so cool.
And to think like that there's now a channel, right, in the cast Discord to do peer support from a whole bunch of people who met at tags, right? And not, right? Like a combination.
And not.
But the same thing happened to me. Like when I showed up, I was like, hey, I haven't seen you since tags 2 weeks ago. How you been? Right? It's like it was cool. I don't know. Like there's just a lot of that going on, and it still feels good. And I don't know. This is like the most consistent place for us to put ideas down. And so I hijacked our the Godzilla conversation to try to I think it's a big deal. I think it's a good thing. Just like Godzilla. It's been a good week. It just feels really good. I'm curious to hear or to see how we can continue to do that, right? Like I want to make sure that we continue, like our thing has always been community first, right? Like even just being consistent in doing the show, the idea is that, okay, there's stuff for people to talk about. There's a place for people to congregate around. There's something that keeps things moving, right? And then we create, again, we can talk about the community spaces. We can create topics for it. It's all building. It's all in the service of that, of having that community and being able to support them and us in different ways. It's good. It's good stuff. I don't know. I don't think there's too much more to say about that. There were other stories. I was going to bring up the peer support group, and I forgot. I didn't write any of them down, and I know there are more, but I can't remember any of them right now. I haven't been monitoring the Facebook because I've just it's been behind the scenes. Geek Therapy stuff has been pretty busy, and
it's
again, still
busy
working on the tag stuff. Yeah,
it's busy, and we have a good team of mods on top of things.
Amazing team of mods. Yeah.
We don't have to do that much moderating, which is nice. I think the community is really good about self-moderating and restraint.
Yeah.
And being supportive of each other. It's a good space.
Yeah. I mean, that hasn't changed even now that it's
over
10 times larger than it was 2 years ago, right? Numerically, technically, right? 40 times 10 is 400 for that. No, wait a minute. I swear I have an engineering degree.
Do you?
But I also have a calculator. So let me.
You?
You know what? This reminds me, just like Godzilla's size being really inconsistent across movies. So you know what? Sometimes it doesn't matter. It's about just sort of visually matching the other big things in scene.
4,500 people in this group now.
Yeah.
Woo!
No, the I was trying to say 10 times 400. So yeah, it's 4,000.
About.
Yeah, I checked. Yep. We're good. I can still math.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can math.
Yeah, it's not that hard. Yeah. I mean, one thing I want to bring up, but I just don't know if it's if we don't have to go down this road, but I was talking earlier today with John about like doing that support piece, right? Like how we continue to do that. We had, like, for example, in the case of Rachel, right? Again, like there are things built in there already into the Discord to support people who want to create content, right? Like we can't make all the content ourselves. I can only do so many podcasts.
But you seem to keep trying to add more.
I'm not trying. It's just inside
me. Are you not?
I'm not trying. I'm trying. It's in me. I just got to go with it. It just happens.
Your mutant power is like podcasts, and then they like break off into more podcasts.
I mean,
you are a podcast chicken, and you are always laying podcast eggs.
Like Godzilla in the 1998 movie Godzilla. starring Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
Tie it back to Godzilla. Let's do it.
Wait, Godzilla's not a he. He's pregnant. What a twist.
What a twist. What was I even saying? Thanks a lot. Where'd I go?
You were talking with John about another pod. Yeah, support.
Yeah.
Support.
Yeah. I mean, to the point of the podcast, like the only way that I can do another podcast is to stop doing another podcast, right? Like there's only so much time that I can do. So I've literally like, it just takes the space of another show to be able to do. And that's kind of how things happen all the time with everything. I mean, that's how time works. That's how time works. So yeah. So, I mean, so I've been thinking about like, what are the things we can do to support, the members of the community and like I've thought a lot about how we can support the people who are like who were at tags, right? Like it was really important for me to make sure that the presenters, as much as we were able to make sure that there was some value in it for them, that they felt invested, that there were reasons why they would want to, tie back, come back, tell people about it, do things like that. And so, yeah, I've been thinking about that. And so in the Rachel example, we were like, oh, that first of all, like, that's so cool that we didn't plan it, but like we showed up just to say hi, right? Because sometimes like streaming is hard, right? And sometimes, especially when you start out, like there's nobody there, like a lot of people stream and there's nobody there. And it just feels so good to have somebody even come in and say hi, even if it's for a bit. And so there's that. And so what other things can we do to support other artists and not artists, but like content creators, right? Who want to have these messages to, and explain some of the, like bring attention to some of these issues. It's more of a rhetorical question. Like that's what the whole organization is doing. It's just been the thing that's been on my mind today. And it's kind of what I've been thinking about in the future, right? Like I think about how do we support the things that we're already doing, not so much doing more things or newer things always. Like I want to make sure that we support the people who are there first. That's kind of like the priority.
Yeah. And just, the concept of making sure that we have foundation and scaffolding structure to support the people who are already here and the people who we hope will come. If we don't prioritize that stuff, it leads to really roughshod community spaces that can cause harm in some cases. So it's important. It's important to care about.
Yeah. So again, it's more of a rhetorical question. We don't have to actually go into it, but it was one of the conversations that we were having. Like that's so awesome. Like how can we do something to elevate that? Right? Can we do something to like in the Rachel case, right? Like that's so cool. And I mean, again, we're working on things. There are lots of things going on. That's what was on my mind as I'm hearing all these people feel like in that group yesterday, right? Like one of the things I promise not to talk about the group, but stays in the group. What was talked about in the group stays in the group. But this is. But like at some point, I just asked, like, do you feel supported? Right? Like, was this was this an effective peer support group? Did you feel supported? Yes. I was like, good. Right? Then we
that's what it did.
It
did what it was supposed to do. Yeah.
And we built on all of the things that we were hoping for, right? And like again, like Link said, that infrastructure was there, and yeah, I kind of just wanted to share those stories.
Well, it seems like presenters had a really good time at tags because I'm seeing people like in the Facebook group, the comments on the like, oh, I just watched this presentation. It was really good. Other people are chiming in and like, oh, I presented too. And like, it was a great experience and I felt connected to people. So
yeah,
it's good. We did a good thing.
Okay, if the Facebook group talks about my presentations, you guys are gonna tell me, right?
No, only the bad.
I will tell you, and
okay.
tell you need to get on a Facebook and get a Facebook to comment on
how many
the
thumbs
things.
down.
I don't want. I just want to. I want to know the stats.
2 smiley faces, 7 angry faces.
You can do angry.
Facebook has reaction faces now. Yeah.
Yeah, you can laugh.
It's new.
You can go,
It's like 4 years old.
wow. You can care.
There's a
That's
care
newer.
one.
That's
Yeah.
the pandemic. That started in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Basically, it holds a little heart.
Yeah.
And you can love something and you can be angry.
Jonathan says in the comments.
5 emotions.
Jonathan says in the comments that still enjoying tags. I'm so happy to hear that. I didn't expect that it would take me 2 weeks to edit all of the videos, and I didn't.
We were thinking it was going to take you like a month or more.
I'm exceeding expectations at this point.
You are.
What percentage done would you say you are?
Oh, I know I'm 2/3 done.
Okay, so we got at least a 66%. You are passing the course.
Yeah, I'm also I'm a sprinter, right? So like it gets like I just gotta get on the block to do the thing. It's hard to do stuff sometimes.
Indeed.
And it gets harder as it goes on. Just if you have certain symptoms of neurotypical disorders, it can get hard to do the same thing over and over again. The novelty wore off by video number 42. I'll just say that. So definitely. So I don't know. I might start making them like in 3D and adding surround sound just to up the challenge and make them a little.
Now, Josue, are you going through the entire video, or are you cropping the beginning and the end?
I am. So I am.
What?
I am doing
You do
a lot.
Behind the curtains.
There's some videos I'm doing a lot, and some videos I'm doing a little. I'm not going through them entirely. I would love to.
Okay.
I plan on watching them all once I can. I was only able to watch like 2/3 because I only have 2 ears and can only hear the 2 at the same time, and focus on I got to watch them all again. But I'm doing, there's some, for example, and this is kind of like the value add that I'm talking about. Like if you did the presentation, you just hit like full screen. Like there was one person who had a wide screen, like a super wide monitor, and then they put their presentation to full screen on their computer, and then they recorded their desktop on Zoom. So the video is super wide with the presentation in the middle, with black bars super across, right? Both sides. And so I could have just uploaded the video and had like a super wide video, but I didn't. I've done a variety of different things. I've done a lot of audio fixing for them so that we can hear them more clearly. I make sure I'm doing, for the most part, I'm chopping them the beginning and the end. The rest, I'm not editing anybody's content. There is one that I interrupted halfway through, and so we discussed. I was like, I can edit this part out. They're like, yeah, please. And they sent me a note, and I did that. But for the most part, like, I wouldn't edit anything in between, right? I'm just trying to make it
pretty,
the best quality that it can be.
Yeah, the audio especially. I want to make sure that people can hear it, because like some had lots of different people at once, and so I tried to fix that as much as possible. There's one that had like, it sounded like a fan was blaring like right next to the microphone. I was able to clean up that audio, to things like that. And so, I hope I'm not going and telling everybody, right, that there's a what we did, but I just want to make sure that everybody can enjoy it, especially moving forward. Yeah. That's
and where can people watch these videos?
They can watch them. 2/3 of them are currently up at event.tagsummit.org, where you can watch where you can watch all the videos.
You have to get a media pass.
You have to get a media pass, to watch it. Yeah. You can do the plugs. You know the answers.
Yeah, but people come here to hear you.
Do they though?
Not me.
Do they?
I've had at least 2 separate people say that to me. So yes, I'm standing by that statement.
Really? Oh. So well. Since this is a weird episode already, I would like to point out this is episode 296. And so
we are approaching.
we're approaching 300, right? So
Mhm.
what is 300? 300 is just a number. It's just another
Are we
number.
gonna have a Sparta episode or what? Dude, I'm sorry. I tried to learn that joke, but it was lame.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't Spartan kicked anything or anyone in a long time. That would be, I mean, yeah, that's a wow. You're doing great today. Like you're the more references, the better. Maybe, I don't know. It can be Spartan themed. I'm kind of open to that. I mean, this has happened at every time we hit a milestone. I'm just very excited.
We're like, we got to do something for the milestone.
Yeah.
And we're at the milestone, like, look at us. Here we are.
Yeah.
John says he comes here to hear me and Link.
Yeah.
So,
oh well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, I've heard that from multiple people named John. Yeah. So yeah. There's again. This is like an exciting. Like I don't know. I'm in the mood to celebrate stuff and our accomplishments, and it just feels good. That's just kind of the mood that I'm in. But also to do to like make little changes. So one of the things that has been kind of an obstacle in completing the update of the tags videos has been all the other stuff to do, and some of that is preparations for not just 300, but like a month after 300, not the movie, the 300th episode of GT Radio. A month after that, it's the official 6-month anniversary, and right, like I don't know, like
the official 10-year anniversary.
What did I say?
You said 6 months.
I had my vaccine very recently, and I'm feeling it a little.
You're a little delusional.
Is that why I'm wearing a hat? Maybe. Who knows? Like, I don't know.
You just wanted to be more like me.
Yeah. Sure. Yes. And then, anyway, it's good. Like I'm preparing different things, and I hope they are prepared by then. Just like little things. But yeah, if you're listening to this and you're also in a festive mood and have ideas for the party, let us know, because I've been saying this since January, but I want this whole year to be a party. Tags was perhaps the best party I could have imagined, right?
It was a kickoff party for us.
In a way. So it was so good that a part of me was almost like, we peaked in April. Like what are we supposed to do? Like, damn, what are we gonna do the rest of the year? It felt that good. But that's why I needed your help. So please, let me know. What should we do? I haven't been disappointed about being in a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being in a pandemic sucks. I mean, being at home, right? Like the shutdown and all that stuff. That stuff, I'm already missing it, right? Like I got second vaccine and I'm already like, ooh, that means it's closer to things are getting close to being back to normal. Like in Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? People are like, oh, like things are starting to look like they used to. They kind of sucked before. They weren't great, now, but like we're just going to the old suck instead of the new suck. And one of the things I was hoping to do, like by being in Chicago, was like, having some kind of live event. It's like I'd love to do, even if just like a dinner. I don't know. Like, let's just go to Olive Garden and celebrate, Geek Therapy's 10th birthday. There's enough people here to have have one of the rooms in the back with like one of the large tables on Olive Garden. I think
Karaoke night.
Not in the middle of a pandemic. Not karaoke.
You're right. Oh no.
But I would love to do karaoke night. I would love to do karaoke night. Yeah. That has something to do with
maybe next year
with the podcast I was recording earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Music.
Yeah. I don't. Okay. Well,
that was a guess, people. I don't know anything. Yeah. I'm not included.
All right. Well, that's it. And any other closing thoughts? Any questions from the? I mean, it's like a wasted opportunity, right? Like we don't have a question queue with the live audience, so. Question Q.
They are just having a whole conversation over here.
Yeah,
about
they're off topic.
Dress code for the occasion.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about voting on what we should do for the party.
Yeah. Oh, maybe this is on topic. I didn't see the news.
It is
stuff.
on topic.
Yeah.
I mean, the earlier stuff was on topic. They were talking about Godzilla.
Saying that
John
something is off topic today was just it's a joke.
There's no such thing as off topic.
I mean, John said Godzilla is gender fluid. I suppose that I would agree.
Yeah, what are
I think that Godzilla predates gender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's do a PowerPoint party.
You kids and your genders these days. Back in my day, we were giant lizards and we were happy about it.
So Johnny's saying let's do an emergency channel on the Discord. So
he said, let's do a PowerPoint party. I'm like, let's just play talking points on Jackbox.
That is very similar. I do like PowerPoint parties. Actually, last year around this time, my friend group and I started doing a weekly Zoom hangout in order to cope with the pandemic and not being able to see each other in person.
Yeah.
And we were just sort of chatting. And then at the end of May is one of my friend's birthdays. And she was like, could we do like a slideshow presentation thing about cryptids? Because I would like to do one. It was so much fun, you guys. It was such a blast. Highly recommend that if you have a group of friends looking for something to do for a couple of hours, having everybody make a PowerPoint about their favorite cryptid is it's a great idea.
What about favorite Kaijus? I think would be a good topic too. Like there's just a lot of different versions of PowerPoint parties you could do. I think very.
That is a great. I do love PowerPoint parties. They are.
I've
very
never been
fun.
Invited to one. So
wow.
The closest thing I've done is the what's the Jackbox game that's like that?
Talking points.
Talking points. Yeah. That was good. That was when me and Lara's wife stopped being friends. It was because of that game.
Oh right.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was really funny. Yeah.
Well, this is giving me.
We played some talking points during tags too. Not you, Josue, but
yeah.
A group of us did.
So I'm.
Just mull that over for a little bit.
I think
Jackbox party night. What?
I would love a Jackbox party night.
I've got a. Just something I've been wanting to do. I think this PowerPoint party idea might work. I think
you're really gonna let John have this much power.
Look, I mean,
we do have to put limiters on John as to how long his PowerPoint can be,
and how many words he can have on a slide.
Yeah. We take bets on how many words and how many slides. Which is So Jonathan is asking an excellent question. What is a PowerPoint party?
A PowerPoint party is where you have people create PowerPoints and then you present them to each other, often in like a living room situation with a TV and an HDMI cable you can plug into your laptop. Like I was talking about before, you can do a themed one like we did cryptids. So everybody talked about different cryptids. There were a couple of overlap, but mostly people picked different ones. You can also just leave it open. Sometimes that's fun, is just, let people talk about what they want to talk about, whatever they think of. It is very enjoyable.
Can you give an example of one of why it's a party and not just like why it feels more like a party and not so much of a meeting?
Because the topics are usually more silly and lighthearted and goofy. I have seen
there's a lot on TikTok, a lot of trends on TikTok of
there are many on TikTok. I've seen one where people talked about it was 5 minutes to describe your favorite anime, but you don't say what the anime is until the end of the 5 minutes. And so it's just people like describing plot points and but of anime, which I don't know is about you guys, but anytime I hear without context the plot of anime, it's always like, this is bananas. What are you talking about? Wait. You're saying when he gets wet, he turns into a panda? Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Keep going. Continue. Tell me more.
Yep. So another comment was like Geek Therapy has switched hosts for the different podcasts, and my first
Maximum Fun Network does that.
My first thought was like to have Woody Harris do the anime podcast, because he had no idea. It would basically be what you just described. He's like, I'd be like, look, just read the descriptions, about the shows. And he'd have no idea what they are. He's none whatsoever.
Unless it's something I've watched way in the past, or I'm watching right now because of the Funimation 3-month trial with PlayStation. I would also be good for that, because it's just me and Woody like reading off Wikipedia or something.
Okay, so I think Geek Therapy's 10th birthday is a big deal. This did actually kind of turn into a working meeting, and I can visualize.
You're welcome.
A thing. I can visualize a thing, and we'll talk about it. We need a party planning committee for the anniversary. I think we should definitely I'm excited now. Okay, who wants to be in the party planning committee? Let us know in our Discord.
Anyone whose name is not John, because we know he's going to say he wants to be a part of it.
Oh, because he's already spearheaded the whole thing.
Exactly.
Look, and Jonathan suggested like voting on stuff on the Discord. I'm more of a let's do everything everybody wants to do kind of person.
It's so weird that you have time management issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured it out with tags. You just let everybody do everything at the same time. That's why that's how you beat time. I figured it out.
And then you record it all so people can go back in time and watch the things.
It took me a long time, but I did it. This is a party. No, this is okay. Yeah. This is a thing. This is a good thing. This show is also accountability, right? So this is okay.
We have witnesses.
Can't wait. There are witnesses.
I think something wonderful just happened because of the delay in the stream. John said he said me, and I bet my comment about not John came up right after that. It's great.
Yeah, I mean that's we haven't beat that part of
It's like we had an actual conversation.
Yeah, sort of. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Again, we just talked about big things in this episode, like milestones and conferences and and
kaiju
moments and there it is, conferences and kaiju.
Yeah.
There's the title. I nailed it.
Yeah. Well, we're live on YouTube, so I just called it. I called it Godzilla and big awesome things, I think is what I called it. I don't know.
That works.
I've been trying to refer to that. Yeah, it was like other big. Yeah, nope. That's what it says. Whatever it says, things. That's what it is. It's living there. If you go see but we can change the version for the podcast. We can change.
Yeah,
it.
Conferences and kaiju.
Yeah. I like this. Okay. All right. So, thank you for joining us live. Thank you for listening this long. To vote on what we should do for Geek Therapy's 10th anniversary and the party that I'm convinced is happening, because it just is. You can visit our Discord, our Facebook group, and all of our community spaces. You can comment on this episode and all other episodes of on the Geek Therapy Network, including the show that hasn't been released yet. Which is actually more than one of those, actually.
Woody's been on a roll with putting out Rolling for Change episodes.
Yeah. There's been working on that backlog. That's my plan too for the next couple of weeks. Yeah. So links to all of that in the show notes. check out the forum is what I was alluding to. That's where all the comments are, where everything lives. And yeah, thank you for listening. Remember to geek out and do good. And we'll be back next week.
Bye.
Recording done.
Okay.
And yeah, Jonathan and John, goodbye, I guess.
Thanks for hanging with us, guys.
Yeah, I don't know how long the delay is. And we're still live. Still live on YouTube for a bit. You have a lot of hats, Laura. Right? Like, how many hats do you have? Curious.
Both literal and metaphorical.
So beanie hats, beanie hats, lots of beanie hats.
But like even just cap. I was just thinking of like caps, like baseball caps.
No. I have right next to me. I have 4 different hats. 4 different hats. These 3 and the one on my head. These are the ones I rotate through for work.
Okay. Those are your work hats.
I have a lot of San Francisco Giants hats, and I have a Captain America one and some other Star Wars ones in my closet. Like, I had a full like hat rack at my last place. I have lots of hats. Oh, and I have another one hanging by the front door. That's my outside hat right now during the pandemic.
My outside hat.
All right. Well, that's it. Let's go offline. Let's cut the stream.
It's been real.
It's been real.